That's beautiful music. Thank you, Susan. Peace will come indeed. It is always on its way. We just have to open to it to receive it. Welcome to the study of life and the nature of the laws of thought. The laws of thought are the teachings of the science of mind, the science of how you use your mind in this life to find the best of you to present to the world. So welcome to the study of life and the nature of the laws of thought. The conception that we live in a spiritual universe, that God is in us, around us, and for us, and there is nothing against us. When we hear the words commit to transformation, which is our topic today, what first comes to mind? No, to me, it says take self-responsibility for your personal change to a life of enhancement. To commit to transformation does not mean to give up or surrender. It means to open to the full embrace of a new awareness, a new concept of life, a new self-perception, and from a spiritual perspective, a way to embrace a new conscious relationship with the great creator and sustainer of life and the universe. An important aspect of committing to transformation is the willingness to embrace a new self-perspective. That's important. Committing to transformation is often an invitation to change or for a change to take place. So when you make the commitment, something happens and begins to form in an invisible way, but in an experiential way sometimes, where you can actually feel changes taking place. The very heart of true spiritual practice is letting go and a willingness to change or to welcome transformation. When we let go, there comes an immediate and profound revelation. It's an aha. It's a moment that has been lingering, waiting for your attention. As soon as you let go of a problem, it begins to unravel and fall apart. Try it. Let go of the problem. It begins to unravel and falls away into nothingness from whence it came. Is that true for you? Try it. You might find it works. We begin to become aware of our intuitive self. Something occurs in mind, our mind. We discover that it is within. We are no longer full of nonsense. Of self-opinion, or of expectations that are receptive. Ideas, solutions rise to the surface. That's what happens. When we no longer are afraid of loss, we begin to open in a whole new, open-hearted way to the world around us. The universe becomes a friendly place. Living in an unawakened state of fear is a common experience. Believe me, there are a lot of people who are living in fear. And that's why we exist as the science of mind. We are not afraid. We learned that what Einstein knew, and I quote him, that the universe is a friendly place. Committing to transformation is a path to awakening. Letting go always gives us a sense of being fully present. We are no longer preoccupied, distracted. Committing to change allows more spacious wisdom to emerge. There is a certain kind of skill in living wisely that comes with opening yourself to the wisdom of spirit that is always knocking on the door. We become more efficient. Letting go serves us in meeting the inevitable changes in our life which comes, and meeting them with grace, we move with greater ease. But if we do not make the commitment to transformation, our life remains the same with no enlightening change taking place in our minds and in our lives. We cling and become possessed by that to which we cling, unable to see through the fog. It's just a fog, you know, if you put your hand through it, it doesn't even give you resistance, but it appears to be real. We discover that holding on is a plan for limitation. We are preoccupied with what was or what we hope for. That which is hardest to let go brings the deepest sorrow, saddest of times, and causes regret. Life is inevitably a process of letting go into greater and greater capacities of being. That's life. It's changing all the time. You can't be stuck on first base if you're going to try to score a run. You can't be stuck on first base. Have you ever replaced anything with a new model? Have you ever had to let go of the old to embrace the new? People who feel stuck are overcome by the evidence of what makes them feel that way, and there is a constant recitation of the reason for being in that state. People who repeat themselves all the time about how sad life is, or how things are always resisting them, continue to stay in the same position because the mind hears the repetition and wants to fulfill those orders. There's a Sufi story about a meeting of some animals, listen to this, who were complaining about how humans were always taking things away from them. They take my milk, said the cow. They take my eggs, said the hen. They take my flesh, said the bacon, said the hog. They hunt me for my oil, said the whale. Finally, the snail spoke. Listen to this. I have something they would take away from me if they could. Something they want more and more of, more than anything else. I have time. Smart, isn't it? In Science of Mind, the fifth step of affirmative prayer is release. The big question we must really answer is, what do we possess that keeps us from being free? What do we possess that possesses us? When we study the science of mind, we find a connection to spirit where there is joy. In Buddhism, the state of nirvana is to arrive at the consciousness where there is no longer any need to do, to be, or to have. Then you can be all things, do all things, and have all things. It sounds like contradiction, but it isn't. Because freedom cannot truly be fully expressed because it's a constant life of discovery of good. Are you ready to commit to transformation? If you say yes, guess what? A whole new life is going to open up to you, and you will step into change for the better. Change for the better, because that's our nature, to grow up, not to grow down. To awaken to a realization of the truth of who we really are is to be ready to be transformed. And I love you. Take good care. God bless. And so it is. So we read an affirmation. I want to read it again and see if this makes more sense to you than when you first read it or heard it. It says, in this moment, I recognize the one life energy that flows through all living manifestations of that one life. It flows through me, pulsating its life energy through every organ, every action, every function of my body. It is the life of my life, the being of my being, bringing me to a deep realization of its oneness, its beauty, and its peace. This is the truth of my being and the truth of who I really am. And so it is. I hope that there is a shift in you that says, I am ready to be transformed into something greater, bigger, better than I have ever been, because it's waiting for you. Are you excited? I'm excited for you. So you know what? We should take time to muse, take time to reflect, take time to be silent, take time to be in awe, take time to contemplate, take time to meditate, take time to be alone, take time to be quiet, take time to hear the silence. Did you just hear that? And take time to know yourself. And all is well. And so it is. Waking up. You know, when you get an aha, something happens. And there's a sudden realization of an echo trailing longingly, a freshly minted moment of understanding. When you get that, waking up happens. An aha. You ever had an aha? Well, keep reading, keep studying. When you get the aha, pause and take it in, because that will wake up that freshly minted moment of understanding in you, and you will expand into the new person you want to be. Because we are always, we are here to evolve, not devolve. We are here to be more, not less. In the Bible, it says that evermore and never less. We are here to be more. So if you're not feeling that you are expanding from inside, you need to just check up and see if you didn't take the padlock off. If you didn't so secure yourself that you can't even find the lock anymore. Okay? Is that helpful? Thank you. A scientific 5-step prayer designed to open not only the mind, but open our life to the change that we seek in the prayer. So if there's something that you would like to have prayer about, I am suggesting to you now that you need to listen to the prayer and include in the prayer, in silence, the thing that's going on in your life that you'd like to change. Okay? So here we go. If you close your eyes, it'll take away the distraction from your mind. Open the inner eye and listen and move with it. I begin. I know there is only one life. That life is God. God is the life of all life. There's only one true living being, and that is God. God is the being of all beings. God is infinite wisdom, unconditional love, and total power. God is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. And you know what? I am made in the image and likeness of that. Therefore, I am one of it. And if that's true about me, it's true about you. It's true about every living human being. that we are all individuations of the one. Being an individuation of the one, I can declare for you, for me, for myself, for all the people listening to my voice now, that when they speak, when you speak your word, believe it is done, so long as it doesn't hurt and deprive anyone else from the opportunity. I declare that the spoken word gives life to a new moment of transformation. And through this powerful discovery of the power of our word, I give thanks. I give thanks for that gift that was given to me and to all humanity to speak our life into form. I give thanks for that. And now I release these words to a power so much greater than I am, that I commit myself 100% to that power, to the use of that power, to the wisdom of that power, to the life of that power, to that law that is able to make it happen as I have spoken in the finest of ways. So I release these words, knowing that it is already done in the mind of God, already done in the invisible realm. Everything is done, manifested twice, manifest in the mind of God, manifest in the world of man. And I accept that, knowing it is already done. And so it is. Amen. All right, folks. There's an opportunity for supporting what we do here as the Science of Mind. And it's called tithing. It's called giving a gift of finances, because it costs money to function in this world. And we are asking you to make a donation. And when you make the donation, because we are operating on Zoom, we invite you to make it out to Center for Spiritual Living, Connecticut, or Connecticut Center for Spiritual Living, and put it in the mail to P.O. Box 1261, Middletown, Connecticut. And it will get to us, and we will be able to use it to continue the work that we do, the passion that we have for what we believe, that transformation is possible and likely and experiential. We can make that happen together. So thank you for your tithe and your offering. And so it is.
Yes, I'd like to thank everyone for their continuing support of the center, which allows us to do what we do. And if you could join me in our prayer here, I'd like you to place your hands over your heart.
Yes.
And repeat after me. Mm-hmm. Divine love through me
blesses
and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me.
Yes.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you for that.